anybody out there? Be some words from my subconscious. Yeah. Mortalized. I'm so bionic in my subconscious. I be spitting, I never run out of options. Wisdom and logic, predicted it like a Nostradamus. I meditate in silence, so much inventory in here. Anything you need, you can find it. Flashbacks of hard times, horror movies in my mind. Roll up the herb cause it helps me unwind. Look around here, ain't no telling what you might find. Old crimes that can't even escape my mind. Traveled the world, took so many notes, wrote many quotes. All I seem to have is time, but tell me where it goes. Euphoria, paranoia from way before. Operate this computer with ancestors' codes. These be some words from my subconscious. Is it anybody out there? What words from my subconscious? Is it anybody out there?
Fear and propaganda is the topic for today. Tap in. We're claiming our power as the I am. Wholeness. Us as these magical, beautiful, unicorn, divine beings of light is we get to do things about it. We're not victims here. We're not stuck. We're not trapped. We're not bound to one thing. We are able and capable of alchemizing and transmuting all energy forms.
Being the observer of that awareness, which helps you to get out of the situation, which helps you to stop identifying yourself with this physicality, this reality that might be based on fear and propaganda.
As your mom, when you say these things to me, or you do these things towards me, it does make me kind of sad. It makes me feel a little sad, and I just wish that we could show better ways of loving each other, or that we can be.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Grand day, everybody. Grand day. Grand day, Jana over there in Germany. And welcome in for episode 5 of the Friday Expedition. And as you guys saw in last episode 4, 2 weekends ago, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, we explored fear and propaganda. So we talked about, what fear and propaganda can do to our beings on a multidimensional aspect of being a human being. Along with that, we also talked about some key ways and how you can reprogram your subconscious, how you can take more control of your thought process and the way that you're focusing and utilizing your energy daily. And then there's some wonderful practices that we give you guys, guided meditation, along with a journaling practice to help you guys release any programmings and be able to reprogram as well. So episode 5, we are now going to dive in and explore our topic, and that topic,
the love of brotherhood, is our topic for today. Tap in.
We're claiming our power as the I am. Wholeness. That's right. We'll be talking about brotherhood. So without further ado, welcome to another episode. My co-host and brother over there, MagickJarne.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow, what a topic. I think it's always different when men are together and no women are there. It's a different vibe. Everyone is different. And, I think those type of spaces are very important, that men can be with themselves, doing what men would love to do. And yeah, I think I give the mic back to you and see what's coming from your side.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brotherhood, I think of a few different things, and I've been kind of pondering a little bit on and off today, intuitively, on just like what kind of aspects of Brotherhood I'd like to bring up and talk about today with not only you, but with the collective as well, for those that are going to be tapping in either here live or in the future. And, one aspect that comes up for me when I think of Brotherhood is, those vulnerability spaces, those sacred, safe spaces for men, our brothers, our sons, our fathers, our grandfathers, to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to express their emotions full range, to be able to be soft, to be able to be gentle, to know that they can be safe in, crying and going through releasing processes, and that, it's perfectly healthy and perfectly okay to go through these things and go through our emotions, express crying, and be able to show feminine aspects. So that's definitely one thing that comes up big time for me when I think of Brotherhood is, having those healthy masculine spaces and containers for our brothers to be able to go through their expressions, release their traumas, and be able to move out of that suppression of their self that they might have picked up on through their generational patterns. What about you when it comes to that?
Where to start? I think I share an experience for myself. And, when we grow up, we've been told not to share our cries. We've usually been told to, not show our emotions because, or like our love, or our sadness, because our parents haven't showed us their sadness. That was for me. So in front of me, everything was good, but I felt like there wasn't. So for me, growing up, even with those sayings like, "Mans don't cry," when you're a little boy, and if we look at the little boys today, my nephew, he's, he just turned 6. I mean, it's okay to cry. It's so okay to cry, and yeah, there are certain beliefs in society today, that aren't helpful. And when little boys start telling themselves stories that I need to be a man, I need to be strong, I'm not supposed to cry or show my emotions or express my emotions in a healthy way. So I suppress my emotions. I do not allow myself to cry and to release and to heal, through the awareness, because I'm aware of the process, and I allow myself to be sad because of what I experience, and I really allow myself to be in that feeling of what I experience. Cry, heal, right? Instantly. But sometimes, like when we suppress, then there's like something building up inside. And Then when we're stressed, because we suppressed our emotions, then we can't handle the moment, and we express ourselves in an unhealthy way because we are angry of ourselves, because we haven't done what we needed to do in order for us to be happy, in order for us to, heal. And healing for me is connection. Healing does not mean that you're sick or that you're not okay. You're okay, and you're, a divine being. So healing for me is connection, and always an opportunity to realize more of myself and who I am. So the softness, of the feminine aspect that you talked about, so important. And this comes from the heart, we got to come from the heart. We got to speak from the heart. If we look at, people on their heads, you see it in politics. They talk from their headspace. But to really embody what you're talking about, and like owning your story, owning your shit, owning your greatness, whatever. And shit isn't even bad, we just call it shit. Just a learning experience and something to grow on. So the topic is big, it comes back down to integrity in some way, and to embody what you're talking about. And when we suppress things, then how we express ourselves in another situation, in a new moment, might be the way that it could be, because we suppressed. So now we're in imbalance, and may cause some trouble that we could have avoided. Well, that's it from me.
Yeah, that's wonderful stuff to touch on, because when you really think about how, when we are stuffing our emotions, when we are suppressing ourselves and also being rejected, this can really do a number on our being as we continue to develop and as we continue to evolve into our adult self. And this kind of goes back into, I believe it was episode 2, inner child healing. And inner child healing really goes hand in hand with this, because if we're a child and, as energetic, magnetic, and vibrational beings, we accumulate density through our experiences. And that density can either hold a positive vibrational charge, a negative vibrational charge, or any other type of way that you would like to describe it. There's many ways that you could try to describe it. And if we are continuously stuffing and suppressing the emotions that are trying to be released and that are trying to be expressed out of our system, then what happens is just a very simple logic of that energy then becomes sort of trapped in a way. Trapped isn't really the word you want to use necessarily, because it's not fully trapped. But what it does is it kind of reabsorbs back into your system, and then it turns into density, and then that density can turn into blockages. And those blockages can then create manifestations of dis-ease throughout your body, cancer as well, other stresses, anxieties, and depressions. And then it can also manifest into your outer experiences and the way that you magnetize and attract into your life. So then that just becomes a continuous motion from childhood until every single day goes on, every single month, every single year. Yes,
No. What I've seen is like the reason why it stays and it's not leaving is because, from my own experience, and I will ask you if it's for you, how it's for you, if it's the same or different. Because if I look at my life, what I can see is that if I regret a decision, like an event happened, I had an opportunity to let it go or to accept or whatever, but I don't do it, and I don't allow myself to express my emotions, and then I start regretting that I haven't expressed my emotions. But the moment that I let go of the regret, it's okay. Like it frees me, like I allow the energy to leave. It's just what I wanted to share to that one. So I would like to hear your take on.
I mean, I think that's a great example of what that was. What were you wanting me to expand upon with that?
So the attachment part, so we are not allowing ourselves to cry. So I think there's an opportunity to maybe dive deeper into. Let's see how we can do it. So if we do not allow ourselves to cry, and I suppress my emotions, and then for me, in my experience, I was regretting that I did that. It's the question, like I believe because I can do this, other people can do this too. No, I'm kind of interested right now if other people see that too, experience that too.
Yeah. I definitely have gone through my experience, and I do notice that as I don't release or I don't let go of certain energies or certain experiences, however you'd like to describe it, I tend to see that it starts to kind of creates like different imbalances, so to say, of emotional energy, mental energy, and physical. And I'll notice too that it's almost kind of like a snowball effect. And this is just from like my natural observation of like going through experiences and just observing the whole process. It feels like a snowball effect if it doesn't get addressed after a while, or if I don't take the steps to clear it out of my system. And I'll notice that like, snowball and snowball turn into patterns and turn into habits, and that manifests different people and places into my life. But then like as soon as it's addressed, it's like, boom, you're automatically just leveled up into a different plane of yourself. So through that type of observation with myself throughout the years, I've tried to become like more precise and more pinpoint when it comes to when these things arise, addressing it and moving forward. And I've noticed that like the more that I just address these things as they get triggered or as they arise in my system, then I'm able to just more efficiently, for my whole entire life as a whole, just continue forward with my energy and be able to release what is just no longer serving, instead of having to go through all those more lessons and remember at the end of those lessons again that I should have just let go. And yeah, so did that kind of help you relate a little bit?
Sure thing. Yeah. the more we do it, the faster the process is. Or, like, it's about the awareness of it. If you can look at your life without attachment, so, like, just because you're a man and when you grew up, you started up having some false beliefs, and today, like, more men, 70% of men, I think, or like, what's the suicide rate? I think 70% is men and 30 women. The percentage is insane. How many men are actually mentally sick and think about killing themselves or killing themselves. And I believe it's not necessary, because you all see that we're all the same, we all come the same way here, we all leave one day or another. We have two hands, most of us, right? Legs and stuff like that. We're human. And no, it's okay to cry. And it's okay to, speak about your wants and needs, and get them. Like, if they're your heart's desire, like, get what your heart desires, right? You really, really deserve a lot on this world, or in this world. And if you look at what we've just talked about, if we if we take healing on an emotional level, like, I'm feeling, I'm crying, like, I'm sad, and allow myself to cry and be sad, the feeling arises. And I'm not trying to make a story out of it, out of my sadness. I'm just experiencing it and feeling the sadness, This instant healing, when you sit in it, no judgment of it, just observing it, witnessing it, and letting it pass, because the next emotion is coming. Like, and you learn to flow with it. I've been to a brotherhood where we shared, like, and we all can just share what's there, and no comments, no advices from someone, no nothing, like, no one who wants to tell you something. The rules are simple. Everyone can talk, and no one is commenting anything of that, and nothing leaves the circle, man, if you do breath work together as well, you go to the gym, you go out, whatever you do with your friends, with your brothers, but, like, talk about what's important for you. Don't try to be someone. Think about who you want to be. I think every man should know, every woman should know who they want to be, because if they do that, they can start acting upon it, and they have, like, a vision, they know the direction. So what's in the direction I'm going to take on, and enjoy the ride. And life is way more simple, guys. Like, no need to kill yourself. I thought about killing myself when I was 10. I always felt I'm a weird kid. So it wasn't always as it is right now, and I had to clear up lots of things, you know, through generations and through the years, you know, through different people that I met on my way, you know, that reflect the part back to me that I needed to heal. Yeah, we're magnificent beings, you know, and when we decide upon a direction, you know, and there are people like Christo or me who can help you with that. You know, if we have a direction, magic unfolds, you know, and you learn to just do things that are on the way when you go into that direction. Everything else doesn't matter. You know, you stop seeing it, you stop worrying, because you got a direction now. The healing happens automatically. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. The healing happens automatically. You know, don't think about it. Just walk into the direction of your dreams. You know, one step at a time.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Yeah.
So I just want to give some love to the IG family. I see you guys pretty active in the comments over there, and just want to give you guys some love. Thank you. We got Adam in there. We got Root to Crown. We got Sandra Marshall. Good to see you, Sandy. Soul Awakening with Sandra. And thank you to all of you on YouTube, Facebook, and IG for tapping in. Appreciate you guys all for being here. And Adam, man, I love the quotes. Very powerful quotes that you're putting in the comments. So I want to kind of move into the next focus that came to me when it comes to brotherhood. And that is, oh, this is a good one. This is a really raw conversation that could use a little bit more talking about, I feel like, in our brotherhood circles and in public spaces. And, you know, this is going to be about, oh, he said they're your quotes. That's funny. He's writing them down. I love that.
Good man, yeah.
So this next focus of brotherhood that I wanted to bring up was, oh, this is a good one. Healthy masculine accountability. And I'll say that again. Healthy masculine accountability. And I kind of just freestyled that lingo, but you know, there's a lot of toxic masculine support that we get in this world. And you know, there's a lot of promoting of degrading women, calling women names, you know, choosing money over humans, choosing money over women, you know, thinking that we should just be promoting constant drug use and violence and weaponry all the time, and that we should always be on the offense of trying to use weapons and be violent, and you know, all this stuff that is just what we could label as the negative vibrational polarity of masculine energy. And this even also ties into, you know, like the toxic masculinity of being on overdrive, constantly needing to always be working, or even like the projections that may be put on men when it comes to having to always be the provider of everything, or always having to be this super macho image of what a man is. So dialing it back just a little bit to what the focus was with this topic is just like, you know, holding each other accountable as brothers. and just really, using that throat chakra with that heart chakra, and just speaking from the heart of like, maybe it doesn't really sit too well with you, the way that your brother is talking about his wife, or the way he's talking about the women in your guys' life, or the way that he is over-sexualizing all these women when he's hanging out with you. Those are those moments where we can have gentle, compassionate, and learning lessons and teach each other. Like, to be honest, like, maybe it doesn't really sit too well with me that, we're kind of deciding to talk like this about them, and maybe we can kind of have a little more higher respect of the way that we see them, the way that we're treating them, things of that nature. I mean, it's just, I feel like it's not talked about enough. So I'm definitely going to talk about it now and continue to talk about it in these spaces. Is just like, just really having the courage to speak out and just try to not correct each other, not blame, but just try to give each other a little bit of wisdom and try to up each other a little bit in the way that we carry ourselves. Like, we know that we can do a little bit better type of talk, and give a little bit of sincere positivity of the capabilities that we each have as being, number one, like respectful, being mindful and intelligent of others, and also just having real heartfelt consideration of, what we're saying about other human beings, the way that we're treating them, and if we maybe are being a little bit self-absorbed in ourselves. So yeah, what do you think about that? Like holding our brothers accountable when it comes to those type of behaviors, and just like, really, really respectful ways. It doesn't have to be in like a blaming or a shame type of way, but in a really healthy way.
I met a friend when I was shopping last week, and she and I started talking. And she's working where I worked before, working with dudes, and the dudes are making comments to the guests. They work in a hotel and they stand behind the bar and make comments, and then with them, just the boys, one ear to the other, and make those comments, sexual comments or whatever. And she said that she is not feeling safe. So, and she stands next to them, so they don't really care. Like, she's a very powerful soul. Like, first time I saw her, first I liked her smile. It's always important. Second, her eyes, so large, you can see the universe and more in her eyes. Like, it's like you just like, all thoughts fade away when you look into her eyes. Like, you're just like, whoa, what's happening? So yeah, man, like, for me, I want to make everyone feel safe, but like my lady to feel safe, my friend to feel safe, my friends to feel safe, my family to be safe, my wife, my children to be safe, So like, there is the energy that we carry when it's okay. Women are beautiful. We all agree. We all agree on that. With our heart. No perversity. That's not necessary. Think of her so beautifully that you would even tell it in her eyes, because she is. I think, and if you as a man are able to do that, and you can really, sit and talk to a woman like that, and you're in that position, just put yourself in it, and then you look at someone who is talking negatively about it. I mean, you know, that's not great. That's not great at all. And I think we gotta learn to be soft, you know, because this is why may men have difficulties talking with women like that? You know, in a soft, gentle voice, telling her how beautiful she is. Because limiting beliefs, maybe, you know, through I'm not meant to express my emotions. I haven't allowed myself to be soft within myself, so I can't be soft with someone else. I always have to be, you know? Time to let go of that. Really, time to let go of that. It's not cool. The real cool is the natural you, and you know, accountability. Yeah, we gotta, you know, we really gotta find words to describe the beauty that we see. You know, we don't need to make it dirty. Why? Why? You know. So I think it's a beautiful thing, you know, to be human, and we can just be open and tell her that she's beautiful.
Adam's going off. He's going off in the comments over here. He's on fire. It's a good comment though. He said, she'll always consider your impact when you view and treat her pure. I love that actually, because man, when you give your pureness, your unconditional love, your integrity is a big one. That's something we can probably open up a little bit in this brotherhood conversation, is integrity. You know, okay, let's go into a little bit about spiritual principles a little bit. What is masculine energy? Okay, masculine energy, in one way, it can be described as basically like, it's like the foundational energy. It's like the container. It's like the direction. It's the stability, the fortress, so to say. And if you're in a relationship, or you're wanting to be in a relationship with somebody, and you know, you're playing the man in the relationship, so part of being a man is we naturally have this essence to us, this vibration to us, where in the dynamic of being in a partnership with a woman, there's a subtle and natural energy of when you're in a male body and you're holding healthy male masculine energies and principles, along with the feminine, of course. But when you're holding those male principles of direction, integrity, security, protection, stability, consistency, discipline, order, all of those type of things then create like a fortress, creates like a barrier for that relationship. And you can even then shrink that down into you with your being. When you have healthy and balanced masculine principles within yourself, then your inner feminine or your divine feminine aspects can feel more free to flow, express itself, be creative, be the wisdom keeper, the pourer of the waters, when it has that safe container. So we got to think like, you know, if we're not holding integrity in our relationship, we're out here flirting with every woman that we come across. We're out here looking at every woman. We're scrolling through every single reel that we find with women. And we are doing all these things that are not held with integrity of, the healthy masculine principles I just said in our relationship, which is security, honesty, integrity, loyalty, structure, transparency, all these things. Then how is it that we're gonna get mad and then, expect the feminine and the connection of the masculine and feminine to be able to be its healthy and most expressive and loving self if it doesn't have that container to be able to do that? So, integrity is huge when it comes to really being able to solidify and build upon the foundation and the basis of really any relationship, whether it's a outer relationship or it's a relationship within our own self, with our own masculine and feminine. So I just wanted to bring that up, integrity and holding true to our healthy, positive masculine traits so that we are able to allow feminine energies, whether it's within ourselves or outside of us, to be able to be their most expressive, loving, and luxurious self.
Yeah, we got a comment. Oops, guilty. How can I do better? I'm very flirtatious with most women I meet. I'm single, though.
I mean, hey, if you're single, you're single. Do whatever you want.
Like what I say is like, what's your intention? What energy do you hold when you flirt with the ladies? And this is up to you. Like, there is, if it's your heart, if it's your desire, if you're here to make women happy, like, and you can do that. Man, I'm the last one who tells you stop it. So we gotta really see what in me drives me to do that, and it's all about the energy that you carry when you flirt with women. I'm very good with women. I have lots of friends that are women. I have brothers too. But honestly, like, the most, like, how I feel the best with the ladies. I'm very honest with that. Most men, like, I think if I would live in a different place where, spirituality wouldn't be a thing that I'm establishing at the place where I live, it might be different too, but the topics that I talk about aren't really, so I'm in a different spot than you, I think, right now. But traveling in Australia and like meeting lots of people every day, there haven't been many times where I haven't met people. It's like any person you meet, guys. It's not just me and the lady. It's also me and a friend. How am I approaching this conversation? Because my core, like my energy, my intention, I see something. Okay, yeah, I want to have it. Okay, but where's the motivation coming from? Is it just like one thing after the other, and I'm never satisfied with what I'm getting? Or is it just natural for me, and I'm blissed up every day because of what I do? And this is the question that we all should ask us, because if we would do what we're meant to do, no matter what happens in life, we find bliss, you know? So, back to you, brother. So yeah, you're welcome, bro. Like, you're very welcome, you know. Important stuff to talk about, really. No, and it's okay.
Yeah, definitely. So continuing forward, another thing that really comes to mind with Brotherhood is also finding those spaces where you can freely express and freely be able to express and, like, you know, really be fully engaged and release your expressions how you want. And what I mean by that is, like, this could be spaces where, you know, you're going on hikes with each other and you guys are going through like deep yelling, you know, deep releasing. It could be even just like cutting logs together, like ways to exert your masculine energy in more, I guess you can say, aggressive ways, but in healthy aggressive ways. I know that does wonders for the male body, and to be able to have that in a brotherhood connection, it is a great way to be able to release stored emotions, stored energies, and also be able to tap into that primal masculine energy as well. And even if it's like sports, like if you're still someone that likes sports and you have brothers that you can enjoy sports with in a healthy way, that's one of those things too that can allow you to have those expressions and that free flowing of emotion in a healthy masculine way. So that's another thing I definitely wanted to bring up too, was, you know, having those spaces to be able to exert your masculine energy in aggressive but healthy aggressive ways, so that you're not storing that and holding on to it to, you know, be at home and assert your aggression in different ways or say subtle things under your breath because you're holding on to so much stuff.
It's
Yeah.
passion, you know, like what you're talking about is passion. Like that aggressiveness that he talks about in a healthy way is the passion. And if you're passionate about it, like you are moving forward, you know, like you're just lit up. So it's okay to do that. This is this masculine thing, you know? Like we want to be useful. We want to do things, you know? We want to fucking kind of, I don't get mixing a German word in this conversation. And, you know, we simply learn to speak up for ourselves. This is the key. Yeah. I've seen in the comments as well, environment is so key for self-expression. Sure thing, you know. Could we fight with our brothers? I mean, in a healthy way. Sorry if it's a weird question. You know, the question is like, what do you perceive fighting as? You know, like you gotta be a little more specific.
It really depends, like what's suitable for you, you know, like are you and your friends like type of people that are into MMA? Like if you guys are into MMA and sparring is normal and cool for you, you know, go for it. Like do that as a healthy way because that's your thing. But I mean, like as far as just straight up fighting, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if we should just be fighting.
Physical fighting, like make shift MMA. If you like it,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if it satisfies you to punch others and get punched, man, like, I mean, it's not for me. Like, I'm just like, I was never interested in it. Oh, it was for me. It's just no question, you know. So my point is this, you know. But if you feel like it, man, like, and you find others who want to express themselves the same way.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, like, you know, just set up a table, put the other dude on the table, jump off the roof, you know, do some Mick Foley, like Hardy Boys stuff. I mean, you're welcome to, you know.
You know, like what I see right now, you know, if I meet a brother, you know, an old brother, like, I mean, it's been a brother before I even spiritually, you know, get out of my shelf. Like when I see those men, or even like when we give a handshake, or still today, like I have a brother, like that's this aggressive handshake, but it's like strong, like a tree, you know, like, and you're just like, whoa, this guy, I love it. There's also brotherhood, you know, to stand that energy and to be comfortable with it. You know, this for me is like how I express it, you know, and it's important for me also to embody that energy, you know. So I think, like, I know what you're pointing towards. Like, there is within us, there is a desire, you know, like there's this, like, and we don't know what to do with it, you know, like it's incredible. So we love to test that, you know, we really love to test that, to try out, like, you know, how is it? So in whatever way that is for you, you know, like, I can just, like, if I make myself super strong giving you a handshake, my entire body is fucking on it, you know, like super massive, stable, like it just like works out perfectly. This is the way I do it. And exercise helps as well if you gotta need to get some energy out, you know? So what else? Yeah, you know, cold shower, man. You, I'd like to know, are you showering, brother? Like, are you doing cold shower? Like, Marcus, you can start, but I would love to see in the comments as well if there's someone who is taking cold showers.
Cold showers. Me personally, I don't really take cold showers, but I definitely have, and I know the benefit of it for sure. And it's a great technique for resetting your nervous system, releasing layers. Yeah, it's really good practice to use. Well, it's not even really a practice, but if you want to use that as a practice, it's really good to use and put in your routines for sure.
Big time, yeah. I do, like, there was a time in this year, a few months, where I haven't done it. Now I'm back on it, where it's fucking freezing outside.
Yeah.
Man, I just started loving it. You know, I take hot showers, I get super immersed in it, and then fucking cold at the end. And then maybe a little hot above it, and then everything is tingling. I go into the sauna as well. It's so difficult for me to do, but I like to sometimes too. Yeah, it's that letting go part, you know, releasing layers is what Christo says. It's that, like, you learn to let go. If you don't go to the cold goes to you. Wim Hof said this. Crazy dude. No, and it's the breath. You master your breath. You master the cold. Master the everything. You know, heat for me is more difficult. If it's super hot and burning, man, like, for me to control my breath is more difficult than with a cold. Yeah. But breath control, for everyone who has anxiety, learning to breathe, you know. Mm.
Yeah. Wow. The simple things in life, the test of hot and cold and what it does for us. It's so wow,
Mm.
interesting. And are you involved in any brotherhood circles, workshops? Have you held any, or have you been a part of any?
Yeah, I've been part of some, and I just started a Telegram or like a Zoom call every Thursdays, 8 p.m. Germany time. 2 weeks I've done it now, so like I really want to open up a space for brothers to come together, and share and do breathwork together actually too. I practice breathwork now for wow, yeah, almost 4 years, and it's a game changer for your mental clarity, and releasing stress and letting go, and even accessing your soul and integrating your essence more into this physical existence. So breathwork is such a great tool, and I was inspired. I was hearing Brotherhood, I even came I already saved the Instagram page, Bro Man Club, like Bro Man Club, Bro Man Club. Like I'm starting off with this now, and yeah, I just feel it's so time for us.
Yeah. No, I actually haven't been a part of any directly brotherhood circles. Well, I guess I've been to two in-person ones here in Ohio, but I haven't been a part of like a consistent brotherhood circle. And it's something that is definitely called. I definitely want to hold some spaces and get some community going, because I feel like there is just a lot of brothers out there that are getting to a point where they're starting to really go through experiences that are opening them. And that opening is pretty harsh for some people, and pretty
Mm.
confusing, and very very heavy. And I noticed that there are a lot more that are looking for spaces and looking for support to be able to know that it is normal to cry. It is okay to have psychic abilities. It is okay to have senses of seeing orbs or seeing angelic beings, or to know that it's okay that you don't want to work a 9 to 5 for your whole life until you retire, and you don't want to go to school. Like all these different things that we just get programmed as our normal conditioning, and the one size fits all. um, you know People need spaces to be able to just uncork all of that and just unload it and allow it to not be their programming anymore. So I look forward to providing spaces and continuing to be able to give people opportunities to be able to do that in very efficient, loving, and cost effective ways as well. And I want to highlight cost effective, as the spaces with my intentions, I always want to make them cost effective for people. I know that the healing work is not easy, and I know it's also not easy in this economic time that we're in the world. So, I figured if I can help out a little bit and give people a little bit more room to be able to adjust and be able to make time to get to these spaces, it'll all come back to us, and we'll receive great and bountiful things in abundance from the Spirit of all, as long as we just keep on living by our heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Agree.
That one flowed.
The heart is the strongest force. And Christo said something earlier about heart and third eye, I'm about to teach that too, to tap into that, due to my history and past. Really tuning into that third eye vision in daily life and knowing how to navigate, reading energies, tapping into the field, like having 360-degree vision through sensation and visual aspects behind your eyes, like psychic vision. Like, we are magnificent beings, and like meditations that I do with people, like, they're all activating those abilities, like, if we learn how to tune into the energy centers, to activate our DNA to the true potential, then junk DNA. What the fuck is junk DNA? Potential, maybe. What the fuck, junk? There's a science that says, like, how many percent is junk DNA? Do you know the number? I don't know the number. Anyway, we are to tap into the full potential of our DNA right now. Like, I feel the upgrades frequently, like Christo was feeling the updates frequently, and so many people on this planet feel the updates and the upgrades frequently. Yeah, it's so time for us to come together, like, you're an inspiration for me, like, sharing, community building. I've been pretty much connecting myself with an immense amount of people, I must say. But for me now, it's time to build community, and this is what I do right now. Even, free Zoom calls for us to come together and share, on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So, doing this consistently even shows me how much it's needed. How much we all need those conversations, how much we all need to breathe together, because if we wouldn't breathe together, we wouldn't be here. So, tapping into that one, breathing together, learning to find the rhythm, where we all find harmony and live that harmony in a balanced and wholeness way, right, Christo?
That's right.
Yeah. When I tell stories, I just hear people, what they've said, and it's an ability of mine. I can take those ones, I can match the frequency, and mirrors back to the. It's so fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure flowing with you, brother. Great talks, man. So, with all this being said, another thing about brotherhood too I want to bring up, it's probably the last thing I'll probably have to talk about with this, is, you know, helping each other as brothers, give each other direction, help each other, give each other a sense of, you know, how to build a life, how to build a foundation, how to have structure of some sort, goals, how to take steps, whether it's, you know, healing or business, or having an intention and just setting an intention and knowing how to work your steps with that intention. You know, helping your brother out, like if you see that he maybe just isn't aware of his diet and like how he could do a little bit better with his diet. You know, maybe seeing like where he could implement a little bit of rest or a little bit of a self-care practice in his day. You know, those type of reminders and nudges, and also, you know, giving each other, you know, confidence boosting, reassuring each other, you know, letting each other know that like you are worthy of the life that you're trying to build. You know, you are worthy of overcoming your addictions. You're worthy of putting down smoking 10 blunts a day. You know, you're worthy of not drinking a couple of beers during the football game. You know, you're worthy of these things. And I want to continue to remind my brothers out there that are hearing this that, you know, you are worthy of letting go of these things, letting go of these habits, these things outside of you that are ultimately just not uplifting you and not helping support the real goals, the real heartfelt intentions, and the things that you want to build for yourself, your family, and your loved ones and community. So I think that's the last thing I want to talk about with brotherhood, is just, you know, helping each other have that direction, kind of giving each other those nudges and showing each other our power and showing each other what we're capable of in a healthy and positive mindset.
Big time responsibility, you know, and feeling responsible for your brothers, you know, is what a brother does. So let's all take care of each other, and, you know, me included. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that I do it in a way that, you know, I want to change him just because I think his diet is shit. I know some people. You know, but if it comes from your heart, you know, and you find like maybe even funny ways to communicate it, you know, just like giving direction and, you know, non-judgmental, you know, and if they take it or leave it, you know, it's up to them. It's not your responsibility to do that. But if, you know, if you're feeling the calling to help out some brothers who have a bad diet, don't mind to tell them, you know. You know, and if they don't believe you or whatever, then just show them, you know, and look that you vibrate on that frequency. Diet is one point, you know, business is another. If you like want to create a business, you know, don't want to work for someone, don't want to go to work 9 to 5 and hang out with people who listen to people, podcast, you know, music, whatever, to people who aren't in a 9 to 5 job. Hang out with them, spend time with them through listening, through talking, networking, whatever. You know, start hanging out with people who are building something. And like once you start building, you never stop building. You know, you will never stop building. Like the finish line is infinite. So, just explore what infinity for you means, and trust to go out there, and start looking, what do you resonate with? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Just decide. And you can look at it every week and tweak it. But, I know where I want to go, so I know what helps me to craft that vision, And it's a long term. Like, I don't really look 1 year, As a child, I already wanted to be old. Very old I want to be. I don't say the number in here. But we never finish building, guys, Start hanging out with people who are uplifting, because if you're giving in this relationship and, nothing is changing and you feel you're spinning circles, move on. Really move on. Move on and have fun, right? Because if this is not fun, find something different and it's fun for you. Make it fun. I think we're good.
Yeah, man. And if it's not the most fun thing, at least make it purposeful. Like, those are like two of the biggest things, like with what I'm doing in my life. Like, is it either like really fun and enjoyable, or is it super, super purposeful, where it feels like it's one of those sacrifices that's like so rewarding that it was well worth that service, or it was well worth going through that.
Thanks for reflecting that back, because it's important to show both sides. Yeah. It's
that's the Gemini in me, the Gemini sun.
Man, Aries, Sun, Moon, Leo, Ascendant, Scorpio, Descendant, Taurus. Yeah, it's so much depth and so much, like, I think the joy comes from the Aries for sure. Like, it's just like that young energy that just wants to start things. I love starting things, guys. Like, I really love starting things.
Yeah, I enjoy being around Aries because I'm a very driven person. I'm a very like go-getting, self-independent, self-efficient person. So like when I'm around like Aries energy, I love it because like we can just get the fire rolling, and like once we get it rolling, we're just like, oh man, the fire's going. Especially because I have the Leo moon sign. So like the Leo moon sign is really adaptable with other fires.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I have my mom is Leo. I have a Leo mom. Strong heart, and will. But we're not afraid to raw. So
Yeah.
but we can be gentle and soft and cuddly too. So it's just such a nice thing. Yeah.
And that's some of the fun right there. Brotherhood is you can have these type of conversations. You can talk about your zodiac signs, talk about the universe, talk about esoteric knowledge with each other, talk about your favorite anime and cartoons or documentaries that you like. Casual human conversation as well, I feel like, is just another great way of having healthy brotherhood. Enjoying video games together if you like video games, watching movies,
Eating
watching
pizza.
Marvel superhero. Like I love all that stuff, man. That stuff keeps my inner child alive.
Yeah. I haven't watched those things as a child. Life was for me movie and scene enough. So You couldn't really get me into Lion King. Yes, boom.
Oh
Like,
gosh.
a few series like Lilo and Stitch. You
Yeah.
know, some things, yes, but like I was more already exploring other things in life than the movies. Yeah, good time being human, guys. Good time being human. We all gotta tap into that feeling of that good time and that good life. Brothers and sisters. So, brotherhood, yes. I also speak to the sisters, on here too. Sisterhood is important, and oh wow, I could open up a whole nother discussion right now about men. Anyway, man, I just leave it with that. We don't need to talk about it. I just leave it anyway. And what we think of it is anyway just what we perceive and what we believe. So you might have a different belief to that person that I'm talking about right now. And we all may have different opinions about that. So a friend of mine said, Spirit told her that many women will leave their man, and the man don't need why, because they think, hey, darling, everything is as it was. But she is like, I gotta be my divine feminine, dude. If you are not supporting me in that one, I gotta go. I gotta go. So, if you want to hold a queen in this new era of life that we're all tapping into right now, you gotta learn to be a king that is honoring his queen and hold her, and be held by her as well. Allowing yourself to go in it. Because what she can hold, well, boy, she's holding, more than you may think, as a man. So they're magical creatures. So are we men, but women, you're birthing things into existence. I deeply, you deal with different things. You're organizing things, you're planning things, like you're on it. You gotta birth and bring a human to this world. We as men, we have more distance to that because, through social conditioning as well. But we gotta learn to be ready for a queen. I want a queen. I want a goddess. So I gotta be that king, that god that is holding that energy, and allowing God to be expressed through me, through me as a godly being, as expression of God, In the heart, you feel the truth. In the heart, we are all one. And
I am the image of the creator. I'll just leave it off with that Bible quote, and you guys can just go look in the Bible at that quote. I am in the image of the creator. And that's all there is to it.
ask ChatGPT.
Or just ask ChatGPT too. Probably say the same thing to you as well in a different way.
Man, if you're honest with ChatGPT, if you're brutally honest, non-detached, you are getting gems out of ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, you're getting the most like non-biased universal knowledge, basically.
Yeah,
it's cool. So, brother, would you like to close out with a practice? Do we want to do a practice today?
Sure thing. Let's just do it very easy, very simple. Let's just close our eyes, sit down, lay down, relax. Whatever you do right now, just stay there. Just pretend that you just arrived in this moment right now. No past, no future. You just arrived in this moment. And take a breath in. Take a breath out. Say, I am that I am. Okay, say one more time. I am that I am. And a third time. I am that I am. Tap your heart with any hand. Just tap on it. In the middle of the chest. Just tap. Feel the resonance coming from your heart. Whilst you keep tapping your heart. Your heart center, your spiritual heart. Tap into that. Activate. Feel your cells feel differently. Feel your feet. Feel your other hand. How awake it is. Feel your legs. Feel your entire body whilst you tap on the chest. Stop tapping. Just feel your base. Yes, just feel your base. Go down into your base, into your, lower part of the upper body. Take a deep breath in there. Hold your breath. When you can, hold. If not, slowly exhale. Feel Mother Earth below you. Allow yourself to drop down. Allow her to hold you. You don't need to hold yourself. You're being held by it. And take a smile on your face because you're being held. And love. And you're a beautiful, beautiful being. That has so much potential. And we're all to uncover. All together as a big family. Brothers and sisters. So we are all one. We are never alone. We are alone, right? Alone. We are all one. So let's tap into that, guys. Boys and girls, men and women, ladies and gentlemen, queens, kings, goddesses, and gods. Do this. Let's all tap on our heart, right? And let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Alright, sir. See you next week.
Thank you, brother, for that wonderful practice to close us out. And thank you to all of you for joining us on this episode 5 of the Friday Expedition, as we explored Brotherhood. Enjoy. Feel free to leave your comments, your feedback, anything else that you have relating upon any practices, any experiences, or ways that we can tap into a more healthier masculine and brotherhood energy. We'll see you guys next Friday for episode 6 at 3 p.m. Eastern. See you guys then. Wholeness and balanced love.
Peace.
Boom.